Good evening, this is Stormcastle's Comics Collectibles, and I want to show off something that a little run that I have in my collection I'm kind of glad to have. It is Marvel feature, starting with issue 4, presenting the Astonishing Ant-Man, and it's Hank Pym as Ant-Man. It came out from 1972, and it came out in 72 and 73. I have issues 4 through 10, which is the entire run of this series. And what's nice is, it's, yes, he was Yellow Jacket. Hank Pym had left the Avengers, during the Kree Skrull War. We saw him work as a scientist. And this is him working as a scientist. Peter Parker shows up, and we see him doing, we see scientist things. So it's nice to see Hank doing things, and and they don't know who each other is outside the uniform. Well, doesn't know that. But it was a fun little run where Hank Pym gets shrunk down, and eventually when you later read, I'm a big Avengers fan, so I had read later on when he and Wasp rejoined that he had this virus that wouldn't allow him to, there was a thing he couldn't size change. And this talks about how he gets this, through the course of the story, deals with his villain Egghead, and it's very enjoyable. And honestly, when I picked it up, I got it at a really good deal. Found it real fast. But it's really nice to see Hank Pym showing off his science things. And for pretty much most of the issues, first we see him here, but then we see him like he's in this other outfit he has to build, and he spends pretty much the entire time small. Orwin shows up. People think Hank Pym's dead. They think, Jan dies. And it's just a nice little story where they're all power of Paraman. He's such a weird, but it's nice to see him. There's a virus. He gets something in his blood where if he changes size, he could possibly kill him. So he has to use his brains to figure it out. And he has to fight without all of his litter stuff. As you can see, he's got a fishing wire lasso. He's using a pin as a sword. It's a great, great time. And we see this old story, the origin. We can see the origin of the Wasp. It's a fun story. It was a great little run showing off Hank Pym, who most of the time is always overshadowed by Tony Stark, Iron Man, and the brains department. Or this one here, I do need to get a better copy of number 9. Or he gets overshadowed in power because of the Hulk, because Iron Man. Iron Man is strong, but also Thor is there, and so time and time again, Hank Pym. And this is just a good series where we get to see him doing his stuff. He helps save Jan. He saves himself. The Wasp. She gets mutated. She tries to kill him. Amazing over the cat. But it's really a good read. And eventually, they rejoin the Avengers. They temporarily get injured, and they kind of join back and forth. And honestly, I kind of wish there was more of this stuff done with him. More of seeing Ant-Man going solo, having to use some of the science stuff. And I know he was in Tales to Astonish, and I am trying to track down a lot of those books. This is a cheaper version, but honestly, these are more of a well-written story. These are, they're some of the old Tales of Astonish stuff is kind of campy, and this is a really good run. If you ever see any of them, you're interested, honestly, pick them up. It's there's kind of like that Amazing Adventures stuff with the Beast from the same time period. Some really good stuff for Hank McCoy mutates himself, which is something else I'm hunting. But it's a great run, and it's a fun story, and honestly, I would love to see more of this, especially with after Avengers Inc. We see that Hank Pym is alive and is not stuck being part of Ultron. I enjoyed these. And even if they did like, a setback in the past, Marvel thing, they were fun. And I think he's a better Hitman than Scott Lang. I know, especially after the movies, he's seen more as a Joker and everything, but they really kind of played up over the last Scott Lang series. He was more of like a loser and a sucker, and honestly, Scott deserves better than that too. But another rambling about here is Marvel Future presenting the Astonishing Hitman. It's a good series. It's got some amazing covers. Herb Trimpe on the cover. You see? Some great art, some fun stories. And again, they're not too expensive. They're not unreasonable. So, anyways, this is a great picture. I love him, but the woman fighting the cat. The house cat beating him down. It's a fun run. If you enjoyed this content, please like, because that helps me out. Comment. If you've enjoyed this, if you've seen it, if you've maybe not thinking about it, comments help me out in the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you've watched my stuff and you enjoy this and you haven't subscribed, or you just kind of wandered through. I really appreciate it. And share the video if you've enjoyed it. Share with other fans. I'm sure there's other people out there who enjoy Bronze Age Marvel stuff, and I'm really glad to have this in my collection. So anyways, this is Stormcastle. Have a good one.